Remember back in school when you had to do some class presentation, only when it got to the day and the other kids started doing theirs, you realised you'd totally misunderstood the assignment and done something completely wrong, so your only option was to hide at the back of the class and just hope against hope that the teacher would forget about you and let you off the hook? Well, that's basically Ironheart
Once or
for
twice. I've been there once or twice.
you. A TV show commissioned 5 years ago when the whole "let's swap out beloved legacy characters for diverse new alternatives"
Watch till the end, please. It's very important that you do that.
craze was at its obnoxious peak in the MCU, based around a particularly unpopular comic book character from arguably the least successful era of Marvel Comics ever, who did nothing but ride the coattails of her far more popular male predecessor, only with none of his charm, likability, flaws, or character development. It was a show that was basically outdated and obsolete before it was even released, lumbered with a main character that nobody liked or wanted, and the fact that the past several years have been nothing but a slow-moving train wreck for the MCU gradually eroded the fan patience and goodwill that might have allowed a show like Ironheart to scrape by. Marvel knew this all too well, and they also knew there was no way to fix or avoid the problem, so they did what we all did in that school classroom decades earlier. They went silent and tried to hide, doing their best to bury Ironheart and hope that people would eventually just forget about it and leave them alone.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Well, it turns out you can only hide for so long when you've got hundreds of millions of dollars invested and a contractual obligation to release it sooner or later. So, over the past couple of days, the creaky old Marvel PR machine reluctantly rumbled into action once more, desperately trying to drum up some kind of enthusiasm around the show with barely a month to go before it releases. And today, we got the first official trailer. Are you ready? I'm not sure I am. No offense, man.
Not
I'm
very
not exactly
well.
sure that's a selling
Sorry.
point.
Sorry for the audio issues. I have to apologize for the audio issues. I'm still waiting for my PC to come through so I can do the new setup. But until then, you have to deal with this for now. And it peak again. Okay, shouldn't peak anymore.
Damn, man, she looks about as excited as I feel.
In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Must have been taco night, I guess. It's okay though, Riri's got a highly technical solution.
Screw this.
What is that?
Fuck. I heard Riri Williams
Oh,
was
no
a
way.
genius.
Aye, it takes a real genius to force an elevator door open.
Riri, I see you.
That takes
I see you fed up,
creativity.
waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
Pull your tongue out of my arsehole, Gary. Dogs do that. You're not a dog, are you, Gary?
I want to build something undeniable. Something
Important?
iconic.
What, you mean like the thing that Tony Stark
Already been
already
done?
built like 20 years earlier? The gist here is that Hooded Justice, or whatever the fuck this guy's called, offers to give Riri the resources and money she needs to construct her new suit of armor, on the condition that she helps him in return. I'm sure that won't have negative consequences.
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
I
That's
hate
comedy. That's supposed
so
to be
much
funny.
about the things that you choose to be.
And of course, no MCU production would be complete without the patented Marvel humor.
Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
Yes.
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
And if all of this isn't a sign of how little confidence they have in this thing, then check out these comments from the producers.
A lot of people think that she's a successor to the Iron Man legacy. But in the comic book, Riri and Tony had a friendship, and eventually she got her own identity.
The story of Ironheart is
No.
not a story about the mantle of Iron Man getting passed. If anything, it's the opposite.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Spot the recurring
Complete
theme here?
bullshit.
The one thing they keep desperately trying to hammer home is that Riri Williams isn't just some cheap, lazy DEI replacement for Tony Stark. No sir, she's her own woman with her own personality, and definitely someone you should be excited to see on screen.
I don't think that's true.
Looks so fucking
Now,
retarded.
call me a crazy drunkard if you like, many people have, but Marvel might have avoided accusations like this if her entire character and backstory wasn't an insecure attempt to one-up Tony Stark in every possible way. Instead of a rich but deeply flawed playboy with a talent for engineering developed over decades of research, who constructs an armored suit out of sheer necessity to help him escape from captivity, Riri is a genius teenage tech protege who probably taught herself how to build quantum megacomputers out of Play-Doh and old Nintendo consoles when she was still just a fetus. Because truly, if there's one thing the MCU needs more of, it's obnoxious teenage girls that are inexplicably amazing at technology.
Why didn't you just reprogram the synapses to work collectively?
Because we didn't think of it?
I'm sure you did your best.
Fucking Bruce Banner and Iron Man couldn't think of. Oh. One minute.
God damn, is that bitch on the rag or what?
Even Dominique Thorne, the actress playing Riri Williams, really wanted to cement the idea that this wasn't some lame attempt to exploit the legacy of Iron Man. In fact, according to her Trust Me Bro source, Robert Downey Jr. himself even descended from the heavens to this mortal plane to give her his blessing. As if that counts for anything, he's a fucking actor, not the God Emperor of the MCU. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr. and I spoke after we wrapped, and he shared some very lovely words about my journey. Your journey? You've literally been in one movie at this point. A movie so forgettable that most people can't even remember you were in it. That's not a journey, that's a weekend staycation in Grimsby. He told me how excited he was and that he's rooting for it too. I literally got 2 thumbs up. It's really reassuring to know that you're not embarrassing Iron Man. She also couldn't help adding that Riri is just so much better and smarter and more resourceful than Tony ever was, because of course she is. She's dumpster diving, whereas Tony Stark was this bajillionaire. What she's able to accomplish is remarkable.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, really?
Tony Stark was
Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not replaying that same fucking clip that everyone's using to respond to this, but you do get the point here. Tony's wealth and resources counted for absolutely nothing when he was imprisoned in that cave in Afghanistan. In fact, I'd argue that he had even less resources to work with than Riri, because she had all the time in the world to design and refine her suit, whereas he was forced to cobble his together against the clock, with armed terrorists watching his every move. But hey, why let facts and reality get in the way when there's a narrative that needs spinning? Unfortunately, by waiting until the 11th hour to actually spin it, Marvel have completely lost control of the narrative around this show, and people can now see it for exactly what it is. A cheap, lazy, and pandering attempt to exploit the legacy and coolness of one of the MCU's most popular characters, born from the hubris of a different era when Marvel believed they could do no wrong, and reluctantly sharted out half a decade later into a time when they seemingly can't do anything right. A show that even the creators seem embarrassed and afraid to release, and if the trailer's anything to go by, they probably should be. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Fucking go away now.
I love this guy. Go subscribe to the Critical Linker. Please go subscribe to the Critical Linker, and yeah, you can comment underneath the video that when you subscribe that yeah, you came from this channel. But subscribe to this channel first, like this video, and like we did earlier today, you also will get a shout out on the channel. I'll put up a new trailer with the new subscribers every week. So you subscribe, comment, like the videos, your name will be on there. Thank you for watching.